Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody online. Welcome to the Loving Kindness meditation here at the Dharma Bum Temple for Wednesday. My name is Alex. It is wonderful to be here with you today. I love it. It's just so bright and light out, and I kind of like this time of the year just because of that. And it's going to get really dark in about 20 minutes here, but that's okay. It's wonderful to be here with you, and I'm happy that you are here joining me. Hello to Brian and Linda, hello to Jean online, and you can join the two people here in the temple. I think it's so funny. All right, so what we're going to do, since we just got the regulars here, is we're just going to kind of get into this loving kindness meditation. But before we do so, I'm going to ask everyone online where there's like a 10-second delay or so, and everybody here, how you're doing. How you guys doing over there?
Well enough.
Well enough. Okay, well enough. How you guys doing there online? I'm doing okay. You know, it's weird. Even though like COVID numbers are, I still keep in touch with all that stuff, and there's a lot to be concerned about. But they have been relatively down, thank goodness. I still found myself just shut up in my place, and not really going a whole lot of places with other folks, and not seeing a lot of people. So it's interesting. I've grown so used to doing that. Okay, you guys are doing good. I'm happy to hear that. Ooh, Lordy. All right. So we're just going to get into our meditation here on loving kindness. And I don't know what we're going to do afterwards. Maybe I'll tell the story. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I want to hear from you. Here we go. Everybody ready? All right. So just allow your eyes to close, making sure you have that posture that's nice and comfortable for you, nice and sustainable, so you're not likely to move around too much. And when we sit, a wonderful strategy is to sit like a Buddha. And you can even imagine yourselves as a Buddha sitting underneath your own tree of enlightenment, because each Buddha has their own tree of enlightenment. It can be any kind of tree you want, ready for the day's abiding. It's said in the Metta Sutta, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. And so that's what we're going to do. So let's just get connected to the breath at first. So just take a deep breath all the way in and all the way out. Not forcing it, letting the breath be quite easy and quite natural. Just at first, and after a while, just take the kind of breath that's going to put your mind, your body at ease. Because whatever we're doing in meditation, we always want to make sure that we have at least 25% of our attention on the breath. So when we do a loving kindness meditation, 25% is on the breath and 75% is on our loving kindness meditation. So getting connected to the breath. We'll do this for the next couple of minutes before we start our formal loving kindness meditation. And so to begin our practice of loving kindness, we're first going to think of a benefactor. And a benefactor is, anyone who has shown us great love or great kindness. Someone it's really easy to have these feelings for. You just think of this person and you're just so grateful about all that they've meant for you. It could be a family member, brother, father, mother, sister, best friend, favorite teacher. This person can be living, they can be not living. So there's a lot of flexibility here. So just call this person to mind and picture them in your mind's eye, and we're just going to radiate loving kindness to them, wishing them happiness, wishing that they do the things that cause happiness, which is they're positive and well-intentioned. Another word for that is skillful thoughts, words, and actions. We want them to do the things that cause them happiness. And if we do the things that cause us happiness and they do the things that cause them happiness, skillful actions are never in conflict. So we just radiate loving kindness to them, and however you understand that word, radiate. I like to picture a beam of loving kindness going from my heart to theirs. And sometimes this beam has different colors, and it's warm, and it's like pulsing just slightly like a heartbeat. I'm smiling. You can picture them smiling. And so for the next few moments, we'll do this practice of loving kindness for our benefactor. And so shifting our focus from loving kindness for our benefactor to now we're just going to switch it up. And to now we're going to imagine our benefactor doing this practice for us. So we already have the experience in our own heart of our benefactor's love and kindness towards us. And so we just have to remember that. And we're going to imagine our benefactor, it could be the same one, different one, radiating loving kindness to us, wishing us happiness, wishing that we do the things that cause happiness. And the only thing that we have to do is just let all of that loving kindness into our heart from our benefactor. Just let it all in. If you want to put your hand over your heart, you can do that. Smiling always helps at every single point in this meditation. If there's any part of your heart that has difficulty just letting all of their loving kindness into your heart, that's okay. Can you then just take a deep breath and breathe into that tension, maybe just giving it a little space, not needing to change anything. Maybe it loosens up, maybe not, that's okay. We still keep the strategy of imagining our benefactor doing this practice for us and letting all of that loving kindness into our own heart. And now switching our focus again to probably the most important part of this meditation, and that is doing this practice of loving kindness for ourselves. And I know for a lot of people this can be really challenging, and I absolutely understand that. But it's so helpful if you can feel, if you can experience loving kindness in your own heart. It will automatically flow to others because it feels so good. You just want others to experience what you're experiencing. And so the best way to help others and to be there for others is to awaken and purify your own heart. And so we do this practice for ourselves to remove all of this conditioning that we've experienced in our lifetime. And you can either radiate loving kindness back to your own heart, or you can just repeat phrases of loving kindness. Phrases like, may I be happy. May I be safe from inner and outer danger. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at peace and live at ease in this world. Just wishing that you have happiness, wishing that you do the things that cause happiness for yourself and for others. And the more that we can do this, the more that we can feel this stirring of loving kindness in our own heart, the easier it becomes to do this practice. And the more you want to do this practice, and the more you want to never harm anybody ever, including yourself. So we'll do this for the next few moments. And finally, we can explore the limitless quality of the heart, the limitless potential that every human heart has, which is to have loving kindness for all beings in all directions. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are short or medium, great, mighty, small, medium, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, limitless. This is the strategy that we will take over the next few minutes as we end our meditation. Loving kindness for all beings. And just open your eyes when you're ready. And so let's just take the next minute or two out in silence as you stretch your arms and you stretch your legs. Keeping that mindfulness of loving kindness about you as much as possible while you do so. If you have any questions or comments about the meditation, we're going to ask about those in just a second. Hello to Louise and Donovan. Thank you for joining us. And also Linda. Hi. One more stretch. Ooh. So first off, for Billy, I will get you that information. Sorry, I just remember I'm just flighty.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, no later than tomorrow, my brother. I'll get you that info no later than tomorrow. So first of all, for online and for people here, any questions on the instructions at all? Hopefully they're relatively straightforward. All right, so any questions or comments on your experience of meditation? Just what was that meditation like for you? It could be wonderful or not wonderful. I mean, your experience is just your experience. I'm always interested to know, what that is for you.
Today was a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How so?
Might have been the chicken sandwich before, the French fries, but I really felt like everything's cloudy right now. When I have a really good meditation, it's like a whole different world when I open my eyes back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a good one.
That's really interesting. I love that you said that it might be the chicken sandwich because I know you went to Lovingkindness just before this, it reminds me of the part in the Buddhist story where the Buddha starves himself and punishes his body to such an extreme that he looks like this, right? And only when he drinks the rice milk that the farm girl offers him and gets his strength back over the next several days or weeks or whatever, and eats, can he focus and say, okay, now what? I need another strategy because the one I've been doing hasn't been working. And so, I say, if you're gonna sit in meditation, try not to be hungry. Try not to have any distractions like that. You don't have to be over full, but it's good to have something to eat, and to not having that weigh on your mind, like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry, or I can't wait till this class is over so I can go eat, or something like that. Eat, absolutely. One of my own things that I was thinking about, or that came to mind during the meditation, is kind of what do I do? I have in my own job, we have a meeting, a Zoom meeting or Microsoft Teams meeting every morning at 9:30. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to start with like this person. Okay, what do you got going on today? Do you have any blocks? Are you going to be here all week? What do we need to know? And if there are any issues that are going to take a while to discuss or whatever, we hold them until after the meeting and the second part of the meeting, which is what we call the parking lot. It's an agile thing. And so I run this meeting, and I run this meeting with kind of military-like precision, and I don't let a lot of extraneous talk or whatever, because we're a small company, and people can easily just kind of dominate the meeting for like 10-15 minutes. And this meeting is only supposed to be 15 minutes total. So I thought a lot about, my own control issues, like today. It's like, you shut me down today because I said, I didn't shut you down. I just kept the meeting going. And so I and that's a lot of that is, trauma response, just wanting to make things efficient and whatever. And that's my own stuff. But I thought a lot about that, and what's that balance between keeping this meeting moving and just kind of letting a little flexibility. So anyway, I think about that a lot. I think about that a lot, like when I'm doing it, and usually like in meditation afterwards. So sometimes I just need to let things be. So everybody online, you're just doing great. Good, I'm glad to hear it. Oh, I got 20 minutes. All right. But the thing I like about more and more as I do this practice is loving kindness for myself. I really now enjoy doing this part of the meditation, because during the instructions, I'm saying things like, if you can experience this love and kindness in your own heart, you would never want to not feel this. You would never want to do something to have this loving feeling disappear from your heart. You would never want to harm anybody. You would never want to harm yourself. And so that's how important this practice is. And although it's really important for a lot of us when we're first starting out, and even because it was the same for me. The more you do it, and the more you can kind of let that loving kindness into your own heart, the more amazing, the more possibilities that open up in your life, and just the better you feel. And I want to feel better, because just like you, I'm suffering too. And for me, and this goes for everybody, probably the thing that we all do, or that most of us do, that's the most harmful to us, is replaying these thoughts in our head from our past. Regrets from the past, trauma from the past, things you did, things you didn't do, all of those things. I mean, I know that's true for me, to be sure. And I know it's true for probably most people. The Buddha was a master, I think, psychologist, a master sociologist. He understood the what made people suffer. And in this day and age, the way that we are raised and conditioned in this culture in this country. And everything that I've heard being a meditation teacher and from you all, from people who are come to my class or come to other classes, or questions that are asked of various spiritual teachers, I know that that is the thing that causes us the most pain, the most suffering. And the antidote for all of that is loving kindness for ourselves. And, a lot of times I get asked, and it's understandable, well, how about loving kindness for the person who harmed me? I'm saying you can do that, but you're just giving this person more headspace. They're the ones that harm you, but you're just giving them more headspace by doing loving kindness for them. It's not that you shouldn't do loving kindness for them, but a lot of times if this thing happened in the past, then you're beating yourself up over it. You're the one that's causing the pain, or causing that pain to kind of recur by thinking about it more and doing all those those types of things, about just kind of mulling it over in your head over and over and over. You're causing harm to yourself like that. And so if you do loving kindness for yourself, those thoughts can disappear eventually. So it doesn't matter what they did. You don't need to do loving kindness for them. Or if you do loving kindness for them, it is so much easier. And I think about that a lot. And I think about a lot of people who I've talked to, especially psychologists. And these psychologists deal with a lot of trauma, and I've dealt with a lot of trauma in my life, and it just is what it is. And talking about forgiveness, and a lot of these psychologists say you don't need to forgive anybody. That's not what you need to live a happy life, to move on with your life in a way that's happy and productive. You need to process it to some degree, and you need to, I'm not going to use the word get over it because that's not the right term, but you need to understand that it happened and have some kind of acceptance that happened, and you can't do anything about that because it happened. And you can get a sort of closure in that way. But to give that person who harmed you so much of your mind space, so much of your time in forgiveness practices and in different types of things, a lot of times that could just be more harmful to you. So do loving kindness for yourself and put yourself in a better position. Now, what I'm telling you is not an absolute, and there is no teaching or nothing that I'm going to tell you, certainly, that is an absolute. There are not a lot of absolutes in spiritual teaching. Some in the Buddhas, like in the Noble Eightfold, or in the Four Noble Truths. But that was really, really helpful to me. Oh, because a lot of what was holding me back personally was like, oh, these people harm me. Oh, I have to forgive them. No, I don't want to. I don't want to. And when I was told that I don't need to, that I just had to accept what happened and do loving kindness for myself and work on myself, that will solve the problem. That will get my mind out of that space, and my head out of that space. And so that was a really, really big relief. And not that forgiveness practice is not useful. Of course it is. Absolutely it is. But The trick is knowing when to do it and when not to do it. If it's going to really harm you, if you're trying to do loving kindness or forgiveness or loving kindness for someone who really harmed you, and it's just causing you more harm to do it because you have to go relive that all over again, don't. Don't. You're not helping yourself. So always, as much as you can, ask yourself who is hurting here, and who should you do this practice of loving kindness for? So I ask myself that all the time, because I realize what I've just told you, that I cause myself the most suffering. Nobody out there causes me suffering, or that much suffering, as much as I cause my own suffering. That's why I see that, and I understand that. I understand all the time because I deal with anxiety and depression as well. And I'm medicated for that. And one of the wonderful things about spiritual practice and spiritual reading and spiritual teachings, especially in Buddhism, is that I have this awareness of what's really happening. Oh, I'm causing myself the most suffering and pain. So I'm the one I should do loving kindness for. So that's automatic for me now. And that's just one of the many reasons why I'm grateful for this practice. All right, so. Okay. Donovan says, thanks. I enjoy how we share the same practice each week over several years now, yet it is always different each time too, in my own practice. Of course. And, I'm a member of a Facebook group that's not Buddhist, but does a lot of meditation. And it's interesting to hear some of them talk about, I was meditating yesterday and I had this wonderful experience where this golden light was shining down on me and all of my body felt so good. And I just can't get that feeling back. I'm having I try to do all of that. I did all of the same things that I did yesterday, and it's just not the same. And I'm just, to myself, I'm just smiling and not laughing, but smiling, like, yep, I get it. So often we try this, results-based meditation. It never goes really, really well for us. Because your meditation, like you said, Donovan, is going to be different every time. And I think pretty much every spiritual teacher, certainly in Buddhism and in Hinduism, where meditation is really heavily practiced, will always tell you, don't do any results-based meditation or try to achieve a certain feeling. That's not why we do this. Okay, guys, I've spoken a lot. Any comments or questions, anything you want to talk about or have any questions on, or want to relay your experience of meditation or anything that's going on with you? Yes, sir.
I guess kind of just agreeing with what you said. It always, every time I've done this one, it's always, showing love and kindness to others.
Mm-hmm.
Not difficult. The person who shows love to me is not difficult. And then as soon as it's like show it to yourself, it's like,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that becomes like the child, like my mind will go to 50 different things,
Mm-hmm.
but it will not stay
Mm-hmm.
towards myself. And it's like you were saying, like I'm kind of like my own.
Yeah.
I'm creating it because I'm not letting things that they're done. So
Right.
it's like it's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go. But it's like constantly kind of punishing myself for things that cannot be changed.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things I have no control over. You're
Right.
just kind of, but it doesn't matter either way. It's like until I will show myself the same love and kindness that I can show. Even like when you say turn to someone you don't like, I can do that a lot easier sometimes. Most times I can for my own self. So and I forget that. So I haven't been here in a while, so it's good to like hear that and go, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. And that's why.
Yeah, and another good thing, what was your name?
Homer.
And I work with Homer.
Omar.
Omar.
Yeah.
Omar. I don't work with an Omar.
She calls him Homer.
That's okay. Another thing to think about, I think that might be helpful, and this is for everybody, when you come across doing loving kindness for yourself and it's difficult, or you deflect and just think about 50 other things or something like that happens, is you think about why that happens. Why is it that we're like that? It's because we're conditioned to be like that. You've been conditioned to be like this through no fault of our own. Other cultures are not like that. We're like that because our culture is just like that. So it's not really our fault that we're like this. We've been conditioned to do this. And the great thing about this practice is that we're asked to go against all of our natural tendencies. And that's why it's so hard. We're asked to do the very opposite of what we've been conditioned to do. So of course it's going to be hard. And so that made me feel better about myself. Oh, it's supposed to be hard. It's normally hard because I was conditioned this way. So it's not really my fault. And so I can do something about this. If I was kind of unconsciously being conditioned to hate myself, I can consciously condition myself to love myself. And you have that control. And that's what I love. Another thing I love about this practice, it's up to me and I can do this. And you can do this. You can do this. I feel better. How about you guys? Yeah. Jazz hands. Bye. Sorry. Spirit fingers. Spirit fingers. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. It's wonderful to have you here. We're just a small little temple in the middle of a big city. And we just do our best to not suffer, to help you not suffer. And I'll always be grateful for this practice and for all of you each and every week. Let's join our palms together at our hearts, please. May the benefits of this meditation, this discussion be received by all beings in all directions. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings be at peace. May all beings be joyful and at ease. May all beings be happy. May all beings be loved and seen for the beautiful, radiant beings that they are, that you are. Thank you for coming. Thank you, guys. It's wonderful to have you. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Yes, you were.